You may have been hidden for a long time, but you've been faithful. You've been growing, getting prepared. I believe and declare God is about to bring you out. He's about to cause you to be seen. People are going to notice you that have never noticed. Keep being faithful. Your appointed time is on the way. In Jesus' name. And if you receive it, can you say amen today?
95% of our decisions are made by how you feel in the moment. And that is the problem. Do you feel like getting up? No. Do you feel like making that cold call? No, you don't. Do you feel like doing that third set of reps? No, you don't. We make decisions based on our feelings, and that is robbing you of joy and opportunity.
I will my way to the top. Some of you got that same fight in you, but you fight people. You're still cussing folk out. You're still laying hands on people. That's the easy fight. Now fight your bad habits. Fight your addictions now. Fight your laziness. Fight your procrastination. Take that energy now and fight to get a degree. Fight to start a company. Fight. Most of y'all where y'all are because you never take ownership. It's always somebody else's problem. It's always somebody else's fault why you didn't do what you were supposed to do. It's not their fault. Take ownership. Take the parts that belong to you. Why? Because I'm the one that's messing up opportunities. I'm the one that keeps repeating my past. And you need to free yourself up and start doing something new. But you can't do new until you get rid of that old. Cut it off. Cut it off. Cut it off. Do what you're supposed to do. You ain't no boy no more. Understand every time you point the finger that what you saying to your dreams and goals is, I'm about to put you on hold. You got to take ownership. I take full responsibility. And I'll do whatever it takes. I'll take ownership. I'll get up. I'll stay late. And that's why you point the finger, because you don't like how the pain feels. That's why you say he did it and she did it. That's why you give the power away, because it hurt too bad to say, I did it, I take ownership. It was my fault. That's why you point the finger. You ain't ready for the pain. You wrong. You got ideas. You got talent. You got gifts. Stop shrinking down. Stop minimizing yourself. Take the risk on you. Take the risk on you. You own you. And there's some of you, you know what you want, but you are not personally willing to do the work it takes to get it. What you're trying to do is do what you've done on this level and get the next level. You're like, I'm getting up every day. I'm lifting weights. I'm eating right. And I'm not getting the opportunity. It might require getting up and working out 3.5. It might require you saying no to your friends. It might require you changing your diet. It might require you moving to another city. Whatever it takes, you got to be willing to do it. And you keep saying you're not there because of something else, because it's easier to blame somebody else. I have to take complete ownership. Internally, I had to look at all the things that I didn't have control over and say, I got to take control. Everybody want to be a business. Everybody want a six-pack. Nobody tell you the pain that come with it. You're putting in work, and just because you can't see the results, you want to quit or give up. I ain't never quit. I ain't never give up. I ain't never give in. I just kept grinding. If you keep going, you're going to break through. The only people that don't break through are the people who sport are watching. When you go out there, I need you to have that dog. When you get out there, I need you to kill or be killed when you get out there. We ain't playing no more. We ain't taking no prisoners no more. When you get out there, whatever you can get, go get it. Because they gonna get it before you get it. And they ain't gonna give it to you. So you go out there and get what's yours. When you leave this room, you take care of dog on every single thing. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what your background is. Don't let nobody fool you. If you're willing to grind on Monday, if you're willing to grind on Tuesday, they can't stop you. I don't have to accept the life that was given to me. I can create my own reality.
I wonder what wall you think is stopping God from doing what he's doing in your life right now.
We have to fight the good fight of faith. There's only one acceptable attitude towards fear, and it's this: I will not fear.
You will come out of it not with less respect, but with more respect than had they not tried to hold you down. What's meant for harm, God will turn to your advantage.
Joy, well, it is the strength of the Lord in your life. Joy is your strength to keep on going.
The great people, they look ahead, but the fool never looks ahead, and they suffer the consequence. You anticipate what are the potential barriers between me and my goal.
Pray as if everything depends upon God, and work as if everything depends upon you. And so, part of the process. It's working on yourself.
Now I want you to ask yourself, what are the things that I'm doing on a daily basis that whether I want to live or I need to live?
How am I going to improve? When the crisis is over, do I come out better or do I come out bitter? Wow, that's a huge, huge issue.
Drama and dysfunction is the orchestration and works of the devil. And when things are blessed, you purposely try and figure out a way to make it stressed.
And it requires everyone to courageously confront the tyranny that's them and the unknown that surrounds them, and to work for their own benefit and for the benefit of their families and for the benefit of their communities, and to do everything they can to benefit the world and to live with true speech as the highest value. That's how we sort out the world.
It's not your fault if your partner cheated and ruined your marriage, but it is for damn sure your responsibility to figure out how to take that pain and how to overcome that and build a happy life for yourself.
No matter how far you get in life, you have to be able to go back to scratch in your mind at a moment's notice. You can never get so far beyond scratch.
Describe why it is important to you. This is a process where you either talk yourself into it or talk yourself out of it.
Question, are you going to be defined by what stood against you or how you got over it? I'll tell you something right now. I want to find out what's on the other side of the wall. Because people don't put up walls unless they're concerned about something on the other side. So whatever the devil has been fighting you with, I just wonder, why is he so threatened and worried about you getting through it? What's on the other side?
I didn't say you'll never feel fear. Make sure that you understand what I'm saying. You will feel fear. But feeling fear and fearing are two different things. You see, you can feel fear and yet not be afraid. Because the word fear means to take flight or to run away from. It means to shrink back.
And they're not bad people. Sometimes they're just jealous. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to let someone new in. And this is when it's tempting to get offended, get baited into conflict, live defensive. You have to stay on the wall. Leave it alone. Trust God to fight your battles.
I don't know what it is, but it seems like if we're not careful, we will miss out on joy. There's like these joy barriers, and we have joy challenges. We have things that are trying to rob us of our joy. Life is living and then waiting to live. Sometimes if we're not careful, we will just miss out on all the opportunities to actually be living.
You got to be realistic. You see, you're going to face challenges. But if you can identify those obstacles in advance, guess what? They're not going to be so intimidating. As a leader, I am always trying to think of what are going to be the next barriers to doing what you want to do, to achieving whatever you want to achieve, having whatever you want to have. I'm not thinking about right now. I'm thinking about what are the problems we're going to have next year, 5 years, 10 years.
Things happen to you, or they can happen in you. And what happens in you is an initiative, a willingness, a determination, a stirring up of something. I said, no, this ain't going down like this. No, this is not the end of the story. No.
Sharing, and we're talking about sharing out of our personal life. Sharing is where, instead of you sit down, I kind of tell you what I think you probably need to know. If I share with you, I say, you know what, here, sit right beside me. Sit right beside me, okay? And I want you to sit beside me because I want you to experience what I experience. I want you to feel what I feel. I want you to see what I see. I want you to watch me as we're in this crisis.
Us being our own mountain. It's like, man, the peaks and valleys, we got a lot of challenges in lives and mountains to climb. I suffer from it sometimes. We all suffer from it. But are you your own mountain? Harriet Tubman said, I was able to free over 1,000 slaves. I would have freed even more slaves if they would have known that they were slaves.
We have goals on a daily basis and a weekly basis and a monthly basis, and personal goals and familial goals and social goals, but all of that has to be nested in the broader world of value. Let's say all of that has to be nested within something like, well, what is the ultimate goal? What is the final goal underneath which all of those more proximal goals are subsumed?
Fault and responsibility do not go together. It sucks, but they don't. When something is somebody's fault, we want them to suffer. We want them punished. We want them to pay. And we want it to be their responsibility to fix it. But that's not how it works, especially when it's your heart. Your heart, your life, your happiness is your responsibility and your responsibility alone.
When you accomplish something in life, if you want to go back to scratch and go back to that $7 a month place where I once lived and visit that place for a long period of time, if you were here and you went back to scratch, you would now be here. Scratch is what makes you better. Scratch, friction, obstacles create growth. There's no friction when you're this far up in the game anymore. You think there is. That's right. When you achieve so much, the friction is minor.
When you're unclear as to why something is important, usually you put only half-hearted effort into it. What you want is a powerful motivator, but the reason why you want it is an even more powerful motivator. It has greater pull. You may find that some of your goals you thought at first glance were important are not important after all.
Tell somebody I got something to give. No, I'm not just surviving for me. I've got something special. I've got something to give. It will be the fruit of what I've been through that will preserve my purpose. Sit next to a fruitful vine.
And I just wonder how many people are here today that you're not where you should be in life because Satan has held you back with fear. You can do it afraid. That means you can feel fear, you can feel afraid, but you can still go ahead and do what you believe God wants you to do.
They put me down, discredit me, when in fact I'm trying to be a source for good, then forget it. I don't need it. I'll stay where I'm appreciated. Here's the principle again. You don't have to guard your reputation, but you do have to guard your heart. God is going to take care of your reputation. The question is, are you going to take care of your heart?
Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. What he's suggesting is that many of us, we're kind of all waiting to live. It's what Ortberg talks about, that we get caught in this moment. Like maybe some of you, you're going on vacation this summer and it's like you're kind of just miserable until you get to vacation. Some of us, like we live our whole life just waiting for Friday, and it's like Friday, now I can have joy.
Try to think through what could hold us back. What are the unintended consequences of what we're doing right now? What I'm talking about is just being a wise woman or being a wise man. The wise man looks ahead, but the fool attempts to fool himself and won't face the facts. They won't face the facts. Ever met anybody like that? They're in total denial of reality.
When I decided I was going to get another house for my mother, I had no clue in how I was going to do it. No clue. But in tradition, like my mother, I believed I could do it, and I did it. I don't tell you this to impress you, but to impress upon you, don't you throw in the towel on yourself because of what has happened to you.
Sharing basically is inclusive. It's not, I know something you don't know, I'm going to teach you, although mentoring has that, no question about it. It's kind of like, I'm going to let you on the inside. I'm going to let you see me. It's what I tell communicators all the time. And leaders, do you want fans or friends? If I want fans, I'm going to constantly make sure that my level of excellence is so far above yours that you just can applaud me, but you can say, wow, that man is amazing, but I can never achieve what he achieves.
I believe that every man and every woman individually can create a better outcome for their life, situation, career, and circumstance if they stop self-sabotaging and going out of their way to fuck up their own situations.
Most of us are also afraid of the unfamiliar. I've never done that before. I've never lived in that city before.
There's something about free speech that's so central, but it's very useful to have it articulated and to know that this is bedrock, right? And it's not something arbitrary, and it's not a mere game that we're only playing in the West. None of that. It's the most fundamental truth that the human race has ever discovered. And we lose it at our absolute peril. And it's not death, it's worse than that, the peril. Because there are worse things than death. And the worst thing than death is hell. And we saw plenty of that in the 20th century.
As long as we're pointing the finger and stuck in whose fault something is, we're jammed and trapped into victim mode. When you're in victim mode, you're stuck in suffering. The road to power is in taking responsibility. Your heart, your life, your happiness is your responsibility.
I'm sore. I'm going to get a massage today. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat today. The refrigerator is always full. So your comforts are now, so your discomfort is now very minuscule to your discomfort back here in the $7 a month place. So you have to go back to the total discomfort to then raise your level of where you're at now.
Do some reflecting, refining, and revising. The point is, right now, try to have approximately 4 1-year, 3-year, 5-year, and 10-year goals that you truly believe in, that inspire you, that you've sold yourself on.
You know, we live in the days where everybody gets a trophy, everybody gets a ribbon, everybody, oh, I'm so sorry you didn't get what you wanted, you didn't get your seat, you didn't get your opportunity, you didn't get to serve where you want to serve, you didn't get the feedback you wanted, nobody told me it was good. And what made him a vine was what he climbed over. You ready? What he climbed over and what he brought forth.
Fear not. And once again, that means to take flight or to run away from. I can't always do something about my feelings, but I can do something about what I do and what I don't do. Maybe I can't help it if I feel afraid, but I can make a choice to go forward anyway, no matter how I feel.
I would hear the rumors. He's opportunistic. He's just in this for himself. He's trying to take advantage, questioning his motives, trying to discredit him. I knew him well. His heart was pure. He had great character, a person of integrity. You can have the best intentions, the purest motives, but there will always be people that try to cast doubt.
I've seen that sometimes. I can be so waiting for a new moment or a new season that it will rob me of the joy I can have right now, today. I can be living today. The other day, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like the other day, I'm going to my car. I wasn't late for a meeting. There wasn't something stressful taking place. There wasn't somebody in the hospital I was going to visit. I was just in a hurry. I don't remember anything else from the day but that. But somehow there's something inside of me that wants to rush through the motions.
What berries? I don't see any berries out there. All they can see is I've got this great dream. Have you thought about it? It's going to take money. It's going to take contacts. It's going to take energy. It's going to take time. Things could go wrong in the economy. You could have a pandemic, all those kind of things. He's saying the fourth step is to stop, go, why don't I have it already? And what could keep me from getting it?
Ladies and gentlemen, there's some things that we don't have proof to verify our faith, to back up, to substantiate it. But we got to trust. We got to believe that some way, somehow, the Lord will make a way.
I want to get perspective in the crisis. I want to make sure that we have reality, but we also have hope. It's okay. We're going to make it. It's okay. It's okay. How do they mentor me? Well, the first thing, they give me perspective. Number 2, they share out of their personal life. Now, this one I just am passionate about, and I want to do a good job. I hope I do a good job for you. What I'm saying here is when I talk about they share out of their personal life, you sit down and I tell you what I think you need to know.
I got all these gifts and all these talents. I'm so ambitious. I feel like there's no opportunities in this city, state, or country that I live in. So why do you still live there? If you want to get into model or anything in the fashion industry, the mecca of fashion and modeling is New York City. If you're trying to get into music, the mecca is Atlanta.
To provide a definitive answer would mean that we would have to possess the classic attributes of God, at least his omniscience, to be able to finally answer, well, what is it all for? But we're still stuck with the necessity of identifying the highest level goal, and that's really the identification of that goal was exactly what our traditional religious structures were attempting to do.
fighting yourself to maintain positivity is the hardest fight you ever gonna have, right? And it's like that struggle to just stay my course, to, you know, be the person in the world that I wanted to be, no matter what people said. And it was, I started to call it offensive positivity.
Whenever something bad would happen, that's the first thing they would do. The head drops, shoulders roll forward, they look down. That sends a direct message to your brain that I failed. I am a failure. That starts the downward spiral to being a failure. On that mountain, you can't ever recover. Your chin is not high, because that shows that you're way too proud. Your chin stays here. Your shoulders stay nice and level. Your feet firmly on the ground.
After you have determined which of your goals are 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and 10 year, and after you've made certain your list includes economic goals, things, and personal development goals, I want you to go back to this list again. Now pick out the 4 most important 1-year goals, the 4 most important 3-year goals, the 4 most important 5-year goals, and the 4 most important 10-year goals. Those 16 goals will give you plenty of work for now.
Few people like to suppress their temper, choose a salad over a burger, or quit smoking. Sometimes you do need to exercise pure willpower in contradiction to your feelings. Though, even in these cases, there are strategies in which you can exercise discipline up front, such as in the way you structure your environment, that reduce the need for the exercise of much discipline later on. You can also often learn to like these things you didn't like before. For example, you may think you hate vegetables, but if through discipline you eat them regularly and learn to prepare them well, you may actually come to enjoy their taste. It's possible to change what you want to want. Generally speaking, you shouldn't need too much discipline to pursue the basic building blocks of your life, but you will need it to go deeper and more intensely into them, and to refine their practice. So while you can significantly minimize your reliance on willpower, discipline will always need to be an active force in your life. It won't necessarily push you out the door. It won't always be a guidelines that bubbles over, rather than it can manifest itself as a simple, quiet desire, a feeling of satisfaction you may need to intentionally tune into. It's not the case when you do what you love. You will never work a day in your life. Work will still feel like work, but work can be both hard and pleasurable. Discipline is necessary. Duty is necessary, absolutely. Perception is not always reality.
None of us wake up and say, today is the day I destroy my life. What we do is we make these teeny tiny decisions all day long. We don't even realize it. All day long, these tiny decisions that take you so far off track. And then you wake up like I did and you look at your life and you think, how the hell did I get here? And you have no idea.
It has never been so easy to spend the best hours of your days chasing distractions. You can be distracted or you can get epic work done. You can't do both. Some people, they can't focus anymore. The victim is addicted to distraction. The leader is monomaniacally focused on a few things, so they do not dilute the bandwidth of their focus, their energy, and their potential. I'm suggesting to you, you don't build a wide life and you don't build a wide career, but you go really, really deep.
You got to stay in your lane. You got to keep the main thing the main thing. You got to stay on your mission and not be distracted. You know what you have to do. You're paid to be where you need to be, and don't let anybody distract you from getting your job done. You're paid for what you do and for what you produce, and not for what you're distracted from doing.
Divorce yourself from the herd. Get serious about this. This is your game. This is your life. And before you know it, you will be at the end. We all know that life goes by in a blink. Start process of breaking your addiction to distraction today.
Think about where you spend your time. Is it being wasted or is it being utilized? Handle the stuff in front of you and find every area of your life that you're just like, gosh, I'm spending a lot of time doing this stupid stuff, and get rid of it.
So you end up just wasting no energy on things that don't matter and focusing all your energy on things that matter.
When you understand that you always have a choice to go from autopilot to decision maker, everything in your life, because you will
so high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.